We are now on the Comparison tab. This information came from all the numbers that you entered into the spread worksheet. One thing that is very important is make sure that all of these numbers in here are accurate. When we come down to the very bottom of this, make sure that these numbers down here are accurate. So for example, it says that in 2019, my spread should say that I had an operating gain of $3,495. If I click on my spread worksheet and I scroll to the bottom, I will see we had an operating gain of $3,495, so it is accurate. Now when you scroll up to the top of this, you may see these numbers up here where it says beginning cash. Where do we come up with those numbers? That's a great question, so let me show you. Your ending balance worksheet down here. If you open that up, this is going to give you what you pulled from GenArc. This is your balance sheet from June 30th, 2018. So here's what we need to do is we need to figure out what are these numbers here. We're going to do this together. You have your balance. So again, we're looking at, and I may write this up here, June 30th, 2018. And actually I'm going to have it say as of June 30th, 2018. Just so then that way I can remember. So our operating account balance. You would think that it would be $69,015.90. However, you need to look at your current assets, possibly liabilities that you have, anything that you need to add or subtract from that $69,000. So, accounts receivable, what is that? Accounts receivable is your outstanding HOA dues that you have not received from homeowners. So you may be anticipating receiving these. Maybe you have a payment plan in place. You also have your prepaid insurance, your prepaid vendors. These things are all going to add to the current assets. So we want to put in here that our balance with the current assets equals D20 and hit enter. Now we also want to look at who's prepaid their dues, because we may need to back that information out as well. So prepaid dues are down here for $39.42. So we want to equal cell D31 and hit enter. Now, as I'm looking at this, I also see that we have accounts payable operating. That means that these are also going to be subtracted from our balance that we have. So let's go ahead and insert a row here. We can highlight, right click, we can insert, and I want to shift the cells down because I just want to shift those two cells down. And I'm going to enter in here, this is going to be my accounts payable. So it's going to be equals cell D30 and hit enter. Now I also want July through December expenses because remember this is just through June 30th, 2019. So how do I get that number? We get that from our forecast versus budget worksheet because this is telling us July through December 2018. This will give us all the expenses we anticipate having. So our total expenses are listed right here. However, that doesn't really give us a grand total. So we're going to have to do some math. So what you can do here is go back to your ending balance worksheet because we're going to do a formula and hit equals, go back to our forecast versus budget, and we're going to select July expenses. On your keyboard, hit the plus button. We're also going to select August 2018 expenses, hit plus, September, plus, October, plus, November, plus, and finally select the last cell of December total expenses 2018 and hit enter. That now tells us that from July to December, we're anticipating an additional $57,000 in expenses. So let's create this formula here because it obviously is not correct. So we want to equals the balance plus, minus the accounts payable, minus your prepaid, and minus the expenses for July through December 2018 and hit enter. So we're anticipating that at the end of 2018 that we are going to have $18,081.02 in our operating account. Now this can always go up, go down, based on actuals, based on expenses. So that's where, when we come back to our comparison tab, we want to be close. So if you come to our comparison tab, it looks like what we had estimated in 2018, we're off by about $1,000. So if you come back to your ending balance worksheet, this is where you may want to do this exact same thing for 2017 to see where did I end in 2017, to be able to get where you began in 2018. And then that way, hopefully these numbers are going to reach a more accurate point. So for time purposes, we're not going to go through that. But what we will do is we will make sure that that is something that we do to make this number get closer to that 18,801. So let's go back to our comparison. Make sure that all this information that has been entered in here is accurate, that you have all the correct information, that it's totaling out correctly. Alright, so that is the comparison tab, and we're finished with that one while we move on to the next.